Fallout New Vegas, but if I get hit, I'm teleported to a random location. This is the On-Hit Randomizer mod. I actually came across it while watching Directional Owl execute this exact concept on Dust. I didn't find anyone beating the base game with it, so let's give that a go, shall we? Can you beat Fallout New Vegas if every hit teleports you? A tickle to the brain and a weird dream later, and the tale of Teleportisha begins. With 9 in endurance and agility, 7 in intelligence and luck, 6 strength, and 1 in both perception and charisma. Our best skills are guns, medicine, and sneak. And the traits that most define us are Logan's Loophole and Skilled. Doc Mitchell patched me up, gave me my belongings, added a Pip-Boy, a vault suit and some supplies on top, and he asks us, do I want to do this in hardcore mode? Yes sir, and on very hard difficulty as well. This mod completely disables fast travel, but then again, getting hit didn't just disable it, it replaced it. The first thing I did in the good doctor's home was to grab everything that wasn't marked as owned. I saw the sun for the first time in 2 weeks and I thanked Victor. As I hard saved, as a sandstorm was passing through and as Victor bumped into me, I traveled. My health is untouched, I've got the same 200 HP, and I found myself in Ranger Station Bravo. My obvious first thought was, wait, is this because I saved? And it wasn't, so I just kept going. Now, if I follow the roads back west, we're going to encounter Deathclaws at level 1. I would rather not, and so I just started talking to people and looking for loot that I could bring with me. Communications Officer Tilden reminded me that Camp Guardian's to the southeast. And given that the alternative is Deathclaws, I say that we try and make it to the river. That would at least provide us a clear and safe swim until Cottonwood Cove. But on the way, feral ghouls saw me, so I just turned back and let the NCR deal with them. Jog number 2 led me right to Camp Guardian. I saw the coyotes and that swim would have taken a long time, so instead of me boring myself, how about we just take our chances instead? Second teleport was to the Fisherman's Pride Shack. We're safe, but there are lake lurks nearby. Inside I found a BB gun, pellets, food, and an unarmed skill book. And by crossing the lake, I made it to Camp Golf. Now this is an amazing place to be at so early. The lake lurks didn't hit me and they don't follow you into the camp. But the cherry on top, I know how to get a nice little set of combat armor thanks to the 5-finger discounts. Being this close to the strip makes it a must to go there. There are no enemies on the roads until Repcon's headquarters or Cassidy Caravan's wreckage, and then I heard the very optional and easy to ignore fight between the Fiends and the NCR. I just waited. Of course the NCR would win, and that means we can get some extra goodies. I got me a plasma rifle, some more ammo, and money, and NCR faction armor, which is about to come in handy in a minute. At first, I thought about taking the short route to McCarran, but hearing the gunshots reminded me that the whole premise of the video is to get things done while being teleported every time I'm hit, so I went a long yet safe way around. Through the NCR sharecropper farm and into the gun runners, where I saw things that I wouldn't use. I got a few extra map markers out of habit, since they are free XP, and I made it back to Camp McCarran. Up the stairs, faction armor equipped, and all the NCR members have free passage into the New Vegas Strip. A trooper is jealous that we're able to carry weapons and he's not, and Victor welcomes us. He advises us to visit Mr. House as soon as possible, and I'll get to that in a second. There are plenty of free magazines to grab, and there's a whole party in the fountain.
Ladies, please disperse.
In the Ultralux, I met Mortimer, but I didn't do his quest, and back outside, Billy's got jokes.
I've been married for 17 years. Where did I go wrong? Oh!
Okay, Billy, in Gamora, and for what I've got in store, I only needed to talk to the greeter. But what I really wanted was deeper in the casino. Their bartenders are amazing vendors. I got me some Buff Out, Psycho, and Turbo. And I say it's high time we test this On-Hit Randomizer with Joanna.
Well, what do we have here, huh? Let me guess. You've heard about the mistress who makes all your fantasies come true.
Does getting hit on count? Does hitting it count? It didn't. I know that I hit, and this joke cost me 75 caps. After the most predictable game of rock, paper, scissors, a quote threw me off.
Gamora has the loosest spots, I swear.
Well, you know what they say, a loose slot's a lot better than a loose Anyways, we promised we'd visit everyone's favorite cyborg mommy, and if we retrieve the platinum chip, Mr. House will throw 1,000 caps our way. And that is pretty neat, since I want to get revenge on Benny either way. I'm not really a big fan of being stolen from or getting shot in the head. I got the snow globe from the cocktail lounge, an NCR trooper invited me to meet Ambassador Crocker, and, well, all that I care about right now is Benny. Entering the tops, much like in the other 3 open casinos, forces us to disarm. I hid behind the stairwell, that concluded they went that way, and that made me go from level 1 into level 4. I rounded speech to 30, sneaking medicine to 50. Got guns up to 52 and took on the Black Widow and educated perks. Swunk reminded me that it's 45 and not 30 speech what you actually needed, but I was just doing this bit for the experience points. The plan's always been to use Black Widow on Benny.
I hear dig from you, babe, and all I can think of is a shovel. How can this be? This ain't forgiveness, it's something wrong.
Great line. Great evening too, except for Benny. Not that you'd be able to listen to him complain. I got the platinum chip, Maria, his suit, and I hit level 5 where I kept improving the gun skill. Meeting Yes Man followed suit, and leaving the tops had me meet Vulpes. We're now past both pardons from the NCR and the Legion, and I think that's gonna make this run more interesting. Next up, the Lucky 38. I sold the one snow globe I had to Jane for 2,000 caps, and here's the first real test of the run. Can Turbo keep me alive as I use the platinum chip to meet Mr. House in person? We can always upgrade the Securitrons in the strip with Yes Man, and I would rather not have these guys shoot missiles as I tried to do this, and I did it. It's just that in hindsight, those 1,000 caps aren't gonna come our way anymore. Especially after showing Maria to Mr. House as I tucked him in to one last good night of sleep. That got me to level 6, I kept improving speech, which I'll not use on Linnaeus, gotta fight him the good old way, and I took the toughness perk out of habit. Yes, one hit teleports you, but I'd still like to thank all the hits, cause being alive is great. And so I made it back to Yes Man, told him to tag along, installed him on the mainframe, we went over the unskippable Securitron Mark II upgrade demonstration, and he tells us that we still got another 3 factions to meet. And the one optional quest to visit Fortification Hill to upgrade the Securitron army. To spice things up a bit, I will for sure go on to meet Baldy, since I cannot fast travel. I might as well go and do what's both closer and safer. The way to Red Rock Canyon and to the Great Khans can be a breeze. Just go to the El Rey Motel, drop into the underpass, go into the Samson Rock crushing plant, and keep your distance from the fiends. That will prevent you from having them shoot at you, but sometimes there's geckos. And there were geckos. Well, there was the one, and he never caught up to me. In the canyon, going past the map markers, all that's needed for Yes Man, but since we're here, I might as well grab the turbo and medics the cans have laying around. And we can browse Jax's inventory for more useful chems. I didn't see the gecko as I was going back, and from McCarran to the 188 trading post, there are no enemies on the roads. The arms merchant didn't have anything that I wanted to buy, and I haven't used companions in a minute, so let's recruit Veronica, my favorite keychain, and she is good company. Today's safe route to Novak's gonna be through a map marker that I always get when I'm nearby, the substation, except today with fast travel disabled. This is simply because we can go through Helios 1 and into Novak without having to fight anything. Over here, I want to do Boone's quest. It's a ton of XP, it's the right thing to do, and he can tag along later if he wants to. His pregnant wife was hated by the entire town, and she disappeared overnight. There's just one little issue. The former NCR sniper saw her being taken in by the Legion. Someone sold her into slavery. That is how Ginny Mae Crawford earned the free haircut. The bill of sale was on her safe. I told Boone to join us and we hit level 7. That's more points to speech as I'm thinking of the NCR heavy troopers in Hoover Dam's offices and I got the GIP command and control mode installed. It's great, I love it. But let's not break vanilla rules. One human companion is our limit, so I invited Boone to go visit the Lucky 38 and I kept going with Veronica. We passed through Ranger Station Charlie, and this was a big hike. A vicious dog decided to test Maria, and when I saw a couple rat scorpions, I knew the game was throwing me easy XP. The glowing trooper ghouls near Sniper's Nest were kept busy by Veronica, and one could have hit me. I should have kept a bigger distance, but everything worked out fine and so we made it to the cove. A Legion explorer comes to investigate. We show him the Mark of Kaiser that Vulpes had given us. Aurelius knew something was funny, even though he didn't really see me steal the melee skill book. And say what you will about the Legion, but hey, they are not polluting the still very purified water that I used to quench my thirst. I then told Lucullus to start rowing. The Legion told me to start disarming. And we meet Kaiser, who goes on about his lifelong dream of feeling the ground shake. In the weather station, our items were returned to us, platinum chip included, and, well, obviously the first Protectron didn't stand a chance, but this one's gonna be tricky. I waited for Veronica to finish the first one off. As for the second room, it's got 2 Protectrons and 1 turret. And yeah, it's the turret that I'm worrying about. I opened the door, hid in a nearby room, and so did Veronica. Even with the Protectrons approaching, she barely recognized what her role should have been.
Hold on.
But just like a broken clock's right twice a day, and despite her telling me to hold on, cause she saw something she wanted to punch, she took her sweet time. She did it once, but it really took a while. Oh, and then she came back to squat near me. I even closed the door to see if she would advance, but this douchebag opened it and just crouched by me once again. Then I saw a +5 to experience. Me and Veronica still in place. I don't know, maybe the turret tried to fire our way and hit the Protector? Look, it's either that or I don't know. What I do know is that I tried using the Merc's grenade rifle to take care of the turret, and that thing didn't have enough range. That's when I grabbed the plasma rifle, used VATS to pinpoint exactly where it was, and without entering the room, I kept firing. That did it. The first turret is down, and so I made my way to the second one. It hit me. We teleported. And it put me right beside the Crimson Caravan by Freeside. Well, I guess this is as good a time as any to go towards Nellis, cause I'm not gonna fancy the walk of shame back to the fort. In Field Shack, I got Abilene, the unique BB gun, and here comes George, the boomer that's not really part of the boomers. He wants to make a bet, and I always forget to come back for my money. He's gotta go, man. Oh, and the boomers are shooting artillery at anyone that tries to come close. My plan is simple. Walk until the first building and try using turbo. Do or don't, there is no try. I did it. This was also when I realized that so far, I haven't even died once. Not gonna make that a rule, but you can be sure that I'm going to try and permadeath this one. Raquel introduces us to the boomers' elder, Mother Pearl. That's basically all we need from Nellis, but since I'm here, and since I've got both 50 medicine and the medicine skill magazine, I decided to help Dr. Argyle's 3 patients. In the hangars, I started looting all the combat armor sets that I could, and luckily for me, we were caught doing it. Imagine having to walk back from Nellis into the Cove. This was a blessing in disguise. Loyal hit me, and so we dipped. I did some repairs to alleviate our carry weights and noticed that the game put me back in Ranger Station Charlie. Still a bit of a walk, but it's a very doable route that quite frankly, we have already cleared. A walking simulator later and the game just let me use the rafts. In fact, I was quite surprised that we didn't broke anything. I just had to keep talking to the weather station guard. He took all of my items and then he just returned everything. It just works. And this time I'm not giving that second turret any chances. Grenade rifle. I'm not in its line of sight, and that thing's gotta go to electronics heaven thanks to area of effect. The next room is filled to the brim with Protectrons. Veronica's punches and my plasma rifle took care of them first try. Though, to be perfectly honest, the game did need me to do a bit more proactive things before she fully committed to doing things. How can I explain this? She loves doing things with you, but she doesn't necessarily like to do things for you. With that done, the issue is that we've got another turret before the console that's being guarded by yet another 3 ones. I opened the door, Veronica took care of it, hallway is clear, door to the last room opened, I fell back, thought of doubling down on the Merc's grenade rifle and I hit myself. Fuck. The game put me in the Nevada Highway Patrol Station, which is really close to Prim, which is close to Sloan and Hidden Valley. Could be worse, except I got hit. Me and some idiots then took care of a gecko. We're even closer to Sloan, but Deathclaws are in the way. This is the Hunter's Farm. Well, the only thing I can do now is to keep going, and that's what I did. First location I came across was the Ant Mound, so I let an ant breathe fire on me. The California Sunset Drive-In's even closer to Prim than the patrol station. I knew what I had to do. It was another lengthy and eventful walk, but here's Snuffles, she's a cutie. I healed her leg, told the good news to Chomps, beat the hell out of some bark scorpions, did some parkour, and Veronica's life mission is complete. Meeting Paladin Ramos is the last piece of the puzzle we needed regarding Yes Man and the factions. Back outside, I just let a bark scorpion decide my fates, and it put me on the NCR correctional facility. So I just kept seeing where the game would take me until I knew for a fact that it wouldn't take me half an hour of walking to get back to the fort. And when I was back in place, I just thought to myself, why did I even change the winning strategy? I popped some turbo. There's no party like a turbo party, and they hit me. But they hit me after I did the thing. It doesn't matter, we've done what we needed. And I let a ghoul teleport me once again. For level 8, I kept improving speech and I took Terrifying Presence as a perk. I'm not even gonna use it, it just fits this teleporting character to a T. And who's all happy and giggly?
I felt the ground shake a while ago.
Yeah, I came back for the XP. It was just too much to ignore. And then, I went on to gather some supplies. Steam packs from the New Vegas Medical Clinic. Ammo from the Gun Runners. I dismissed Veronica. Told Yes Man that I don't care what happens to Kimball. And our next task is to install an override chip in the Eldorado substation. Boone was invited to come with. And the Omertas' bartender had 4 pieces of turbo that I gladly bought. Back in the 188, I equipped the NCR faction armor once again, and I was extremely careful. There is a chance that a Legion assassin squad shows up between the 188 and the substation. Turns out I was worrying for nothing. They didn't show up. And because I was wearing the NCR clothes, I just had to enter, install the chip, leave, and to keep on walking. This got me to level 9. I finally got speech to over 90, which is what I wanted for a little something. And on the way back, I thought of visiting the McGraths. I got some extra ammo for the plasma rifle, bought some more steam packs, this time from the followers of the apocalypse, and we're ready for the second battle of Hoover Dam. And I'm still under permadeath, which again, it's not a rule, it's a fact. 0 deaths so far. I grabbed Dabbling, tried to get some amazing crits on the Great Khans, and it wasn't great help. But the others took care of it. As the NCR Boone and our Securitron buddy turned their attention to the Kenturians, so did I. I grabbed the plasma rifle. The Securitron started throwing some missiles, and one by one the first wave went down. Knowing that at least other 6 Legion guys would follow suit, I made it to the ladder that would put me closer to the offices. I popped some turbo and I got hit. Come on, I was 1 step away. Well, there's no good way around it, and there's no nice way to say it, but once you're in the endgame, there's no walking back to it. The only thing I can say, and do, is no saves coming. I have to reload. And we can always see how many tries it takes me, so let's do exactly that. By the way, here in Hoover Dam, if/when need be, I'll always reload to the game's latest quick save, as in the doors I just came out of. Not my own quick saves. I said no saves coming. On the second attempt, I made it to the offices. I told the NCR heavy troopers that Colonel Cassandra Moore is in trouble and in need of reinforcements. They leave and I install the second override chip, this time to grant Yes Man control over the dam. I let the others clear the area, all the while trying to get a few plasma rifle shots in. That did it. Securitron arm is active and ready to show up anytime now, and on the east side of the dam, I messed up. I was throwing frags, a frag hit the Securitron and in turn the explosion hit me. That's a second reload, but at least I don't have to go through the west side or the offices again, cause we conquered that shit already. Then I got hit again. So I started taking these more seriously. Merc's grenade rifle on the Kenturians, and what do I spy with my little eye? If not, an anti-material rifle and a handful of 50 caliber ammo. Oh, that changes everything, because there's more Kenturians, and that means more weapons and more ammo. Unfortunately, I took another hit. Not by the Legion, but by a dumb fuck toaster that's hellbent on shooting lasers for no good reason. Counters up to 4 reloads. I still haven't died, and I made it to the Leggate's camp with the anti-material rifle. These wasn't even supposed to be permadeath, man. But what am I supposed to do? Ignore the fact that I noticed it and not taking the bragging rights? Pfft, the first Praetorian fell, and so did the second. Turbo assured me a safe walk to Linnaeus, and I said no speech to get him to stand down, but I did use 80 speech to make it a fair fight. He agrees to fight us one-on-one. All of his legionaries, Kenturians, and veterans stood down. I made a cocktail of every single chem that would help me in a fight, and I started teleporting 50 caliber rounds to that helmet. Though it seems that the Securitron didn't get the memo of the one-on-one. Not that it influenced anything, cause thanks to Turbo, I managed to get a safe distance. Linnaeus is hellbent on using his melee blade of the east. I used some more Turbo, finally got a crit, and a couple shots later, he's down. Then the gate that explodes so General Lee Oliver could show up, teleported me. That threw me off. And it's not like there's a clear solution anywhere. This mod never really got the love it deserved. That one directional owl video is in Dust, not in vanilla. And the closest thing I found was one of Natty's videos, but he didn't keep going until where I'm at. So one thing came to mind. Does the gate cause exploding damage? Because I remember Mitten Squad beating the whole game without taking damage, and so I checked his video. Not the ending, but the part by the gate. For someone that only had 1 HP, he was sure left standing when the gate blew up. Well, either we consider that the gate is not a hit because it doesn't affect HP, aka health or hit points, or I reload more than half of the run and do the Legion's ending because it's the only one that doesn't have gates that explode. Not gonna do that. Cause there is nothing in the mod's description that tells me that this was intended. Splash damage is one thing, but after setting my health to 1 and still being teleported, well, that just felt like an oversight. I'll leave the judgments to you, uninstalled the mod so we could move on to General Lee Oliver, quick save, turned the mod back on, and I decided to run a parallel experiment, cause in that segment, Paul was saying that he couldn't do it cause the General was being hella fast shooting at him. So what I should have done was simply to watch the rest of the video, cause he continued. Instead, I didn't. I just opened the game and tested it for myself. You can indeed use Turbo to get away from the General. It took me 8 tries though. And that means that you can indeed beat Fallout New Vegas without taking damage, and you can also beat Fallout New Vegas if every hit teleports you. Now, whether or not you want to go permadeath or no saves coming, that is up to you. I had to reload 4 times in Hooverdam, beat the game on permadeath for the first time, and after defeating the General, I reloaded, cause it's a lot funnier to see Yes Man throwing him off the dam. As always, remember to check the channel and the playlists for more videos, and if you want to help me out, just click that like button, leave a comment, or join as a member if that is something you would do. And I'd like to give a big shout out to Steve Whittle, to John Walker, to Glitchtail, to Devon Lowry, to Zoxies, to Dancing Peach, to Carter Moore, and to you. Thank you so much for watching, I hope you enjoyed, I hope I'll see you on the next one, and I hope you have a good one. Bye!
And I guess I'll see you around. We accomplished a lot together. It was fun. Take care.